and salutations, my fellow Illumineers. It is me, your boy JDZ, and I'm back at you again with another stream, another day, another deck, another stream, and we are back with some more LCCC action. But I am not alone. In the booth with me today, I have the incomparable, the amazing, and the fantastic Mr. Rudrose. How you feeling, Rudrose? How's it feel to be back in action, getting loose and active again?
Oh, feels great. Feels great to be called uncomparable. I don't know if I've ever been called that before, so thank you for such a warm welcome. Mr.
Of course.
Quest, I am happy to be here with you tonight to be bringing you not only another match in this wonderful, I guess you'd call it number 2 of the LCCC, but for those people who are perhaps a little tired of the meta, I got good news that there's no Sapphire in this match we're going to be coming up with. So, yeah, that should be a treat.
Absolutely. So while you're talking about that, let's go ahead and hop on in and break down those deck lists real quick. So the first deck list that we're going to talk about, talking about no Sapphire, the first deck we have is going to be Mr. Bivens. Talking about Mr. Bivens, world qualified and also the winner of the first LCCC, bringing this Amber Steel in that old Bivens variety. He has the one of Nala in there and that Troubadour. Talk to me about this deck. A lot of players are saying that this strategy is going to be dead on arrival. A lot of people aren't talking about the Amber Steel strategy. Can you talk about what Mr. Bivens is doing here and what you think about this deck?
Absolutely. So this is pretty traditional Steel Song. We do have, as far as new cards go from set 7, we do have the Troubadour, which essentially just replaces Ursula. The only real situation Ursula is better in is if you can somehow get 3 damage on her that you then fully heal with Rapunzel. But outside of that, the Troubadour is pretty much the same card, just with that extra resist. We're also running 3 of a Miss Bianca, Unwavering Agent. Card doesn't really have any special effects, but if you have an ally in play, and there are several allies in this deck, she comes down as a 4-cost, and then she's just a 4-cost 5/5 that can sing any song in the deck for you, so that's pretty exciting. Those are the new cards. We also have some tech with 4 copies of Neverland, the Mermaid Lagoon. Nothing special about this location, but it's just a location, so 10 locations have always been strong because they avoid a lot of the common removal that is in the game. You know, they will survive through a Be Prepared, they will survive through a Brawl, a Sisu, things of that nature. So I'm assuming Zach is putting that in there to help give it that little extra edge.
Absolutely. And I think this deck is really cool. I think this could be the way that we go forward with Amber Steel. But really quick, before we go into the next matchup, I want to talk about level 9001's deck list. We have Diago Saz coming in from that GTA area. He's going to be playing this Emerald strategy. I think this one is the way the deck's going to go. This is another DLC winner. So this is a potential preview of the World Championship tournament that's going to be coming up. Both of these players are Worlds qualified, going to be in that event. This player won the Toronto DLC with an Emerald strategy, but not like this. It's more the Undersea variety, I believe. But talk to me about this deck. What do you think about this version of Amber Emerald?
Mr. Quest, if you like characters, have I got characters for you? This is 60 characters. There are no actions, no songs, no locations, nothing funny, just characters, taking advantage of some of these new yellow-green cards that are dual ink, such as Tramp, Street Smart Dog, which gets cheaper for every character you have in play, so it really fits the swarm strategy. Then you're seeing something like the new Lady card, which can get back these low-cost characters when she's played, and you're seeing the return of some old favorites like Pegasus, the Pegasus shift line to give yourself a bunch of evasive. So yeah, it's just all characters, and it's going to use the new Prince as well as a bodyguard, and it's going to try to go fast and win fast.
All right, and I do agree with that assessment. I'm ready to go. I believe the players are ready to go. I'm ready to go. If you guys are joining us from all over the world, welcome. This is the LCCC. I'm JDZ. This is Rudrose. Make sure you guys get into the comment section and let me know who's going to win. Get into the chat and start popping off and let me know who do you guys think is going to take the victory. But I believe the players are ready to go. We might be having some technical difficulties, so I ask that you be patient with us and let it rock. But I believe the players are ready to go. In the bottom, we have Diago Saz, DLC Toronto winner. And at the top, we have our LCCC champion, Zach Bivens, trying to defend the title, rocking and rolling with the prize mat that you have there, that beautiful, elegant LCCC mat. I love to see it. Trying to go back to back.
Absolutely. Is that so? It looks 3D. Is that actually rising off the mat, or is that just kind of the way it's been printed?
It might be the way it's been printed, and also a combination with Mr. Bivens' play with the camera there, who's a paid actor. That thing just will not focus. You might have to put
Right?
something there to get that bad boy focused in, but it looks like it is just having some issues getting connected to the situation, it appears.
Yeah, Bivens screen is a little laggy, but luckily that's kind of the benefit of something like a tabletop game, is that usually you don't need to see the action in 100% full speed. It's not like watching a video game or a MOBA or a movie, so hopefully we'll be able to follow the action just fine.
100%. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. So it looks like Diago is going to be on the play going first, just based on the green box technology. I'm not sure if they're going to dice roll, if they're going to trust the green box situation, but it seems like, yeah, Zach is punching probably about 8 frames per second. But like you said, you kind of get the gist. We're going for the gist here a little bit.
Yeah. And even though, so Diago is going to have just character after character, which means he's just going to have constant pressure. However, Zach is going to have the tools to deal with it. We've seen the power of Steel Song against these kind of fair aggro decks before. And by fair, I mean that they just put out a lot of characters. But when you know your hand's not going to be bricking on anything like, again, some songs or actions, you should be able to keep constant pressure. That being said, level does have some high cost characters in the deck, including the Trampbog as well as Clarabelle. The Tramp is a 7 cost too if there's no other characters on the board, so it is still possible to kind of brick with this.
I agree. I agree. And we did see, I was watching some of the ICL matches earlier, and it seems like this deck did have a chance to pop off there earlier in the, so it can pop off. If it can do its thing, you got Tramp dumping your hand, you're able to draw these cards and set up your discard and get them all back with Lady and just flood the board, refill your hand with Clarabelle. It can pop off. There is some potential there, and Diago is a fantastic deck builder, so maybe they have the tools to kind of put this deck onto the map as a meta contesting meta threat. So we'll see if that works out, as it looks like actually Mr. Bivens is going to be on the play going first. The champion gets to go first. That camera is pulsating. There's got to be a way to get a focus function on that camera, because we're going to get delirious if that thing continues to do that.
I'm gonna barf at the end of it.
We're going to all be like motion sick before this thing is over. That camera keeps rocking and rolling like that, as it looks like we're going to get the altar in.
Like his camera's got the heartbeat, it's on the pulse of it. It looks like Zach has a pretty good opening. He's got the Cinderella line, he's got the Daisy if he wants to do something a little more aggressive. He actually has 2 Daisies. He even has the Troubadour. He has Strength, which is probably not quite as good as Storm on turn 1, but he still has a song. He can get into the aerial, so he looks like he's got a pretty clean mulligan so far.
And people said that this deck just might not be it going into this set, with all the Sapphire around, with all the Ruby Sapphire around, and all the Sapphire Steel around. Maybe the Cindy is not as good on turn 1 anymore. Daisy's not as good on turn 1 anymore because of the new Bell card. But I still think that this deck is always going to be there in the meta. It's a part of it. Yeah. It's been there since day 1, and people just love the way that this deck plays, as you have this Troubadour card in here, which a lot of people were down on it at first, but now that this meta is starting to become very Steel centric, very Steel focused, very Storm Rage on strategies are all over the place. This guy's looking good as a Singer 4 who's pretty much going to be stuck to this board with that Resist 1.
Yeah, I think you're going to really value Resist in a meta like this when Steel is so prevalent. This deck hasn't really gotten a song that it wants to use in quite some time, so if it ever gets that, it's going to really be some trouble. We go ahead and ink the Cinderella, put out the Daisy turn 1, and pass it over to our opponent, who does already have a Pegasus shift line, Ursula, which has always been a nice counter to the Steel Song decks, and our own Daisy.
And that is pretty solid turn. The hand is also looking quite effective as well in the next couple turns. I can't really see those cards that are on the right. It looks like we can get some Daisy on Daisy meta here, and the other cards kind of being shined out. And you also have that Prince in there too, which is a pretty incredible card with that 0/5 and the Rapunzel. Maybe we can get that happening. Combos all over the place. If you can go for a Prince setup, Rapunzel, Spike, that could happen. Oh, you got Daisy, got Rapunzel.
We'll see how useful the Prince is. You know, I'm always a little leery of a card that has 0 attack power. Yeah. Because it just makes it so easy for your opponent to trade into it.
But there are some cards. I need to get back into the the card pool and look. But I believe there's some cards that they have that can boost his attack. I want to say like the Tramp. Maybe he's playing Tramp. Is he playing Tramp that can get that bad boy elevated in attack or in challenging power? So maybe that possibly can do it. As we're going to continue to press on, we will draw into the Kit Cloud Kicker, as we'll ink the Pegasus and probably go in for 2. Maybe this Ursula's got to come down here, and she will. The Sea Witch is going to rip this Strength of Raging Fire.
Especially going second, we absolutely could have fired off that Strength. Granted, with Daisy having 4 willpower, I don't think unless we drew into another one drop, we actually weren't going to be able to take out the Daisy. But now we're saying, well, you're just not going to threaten me at all. Daisy's going to quest for 2, and we will reveal the top deck of Bivens' deck. Bivens' Daisy did actually put another Daisy into Level's deck. Okay, so that was I think it was a SME. His screen kind of jolted there for a second, but.
Yeah, so these Daisy Wars, I thought the Daisy War days were over, but I guess they're not. The Daisy Wars wage on, as we're going to see how it works, as Mr. Smee is going to be sent to the bottom of the deck. It appears it looked like it went to the bottom of the deck. I can't tell with this. We're punching 10 frames a second now. We're slowing down. As
I think he inked it. Put out the Ariel, and then Ariel has now found Zeus off of the Ariel, which the Troubadour is going to sing, and just go ahead and send the Daisy straight to the discard pile.
Okay, so it looks like we had a little recalibration there, and I might have to readjust the situation here to make sure that we're still in the same. But no, we're still good. We're still rocking and rolling. We're still looking good. As it looks like Mr. Bivens' camera is still just pulsing, got a heartbeat. Man. You might have to put something on that focus meter and just let that thing just lock in on something. Put like a trophy or something in the middle of your board and just let it's just trying to see something.
It wants to see something. Well, what we did see is the Daisy revealed the 3rd Rapunzel for Diago. So he has 3 Rapunzels in hand, which normally you'd be ecstatic about, right? That's your card draw, except Bivens has a whole new world on his side, so he could very much just send all of these packing.
That is very, very true. And I think it's just a matter of time. Maybe this deck could incorporate that glass slipper and that Cinderella into the deck. You're playing this Prince, who is a bodyguard, and you also spam the Daisy as well. That could be something, because this deck is all about discarding cards to your discard, and then maybe play out the Trampbog. We slip a little glass slipper combo in there, and it could be quite cool with this Prince. I don't know. Thoughts?
Yeah, I'll be curious to see how it does against this matchup. If Bivens finds a bunch of song removal, then he doesn't care about the bodyguard, right? Wouldn't that be interesting if your songs also had to choose the bodyguard? But no, that only protects against challenging.
That'd be nice, like a ward, like a opposite ward, where if you play any action, it's got to go to this thing first before it goes anywhere else. Like a, I don't know, lightning rod or something.
So here's the really great play by Bivens. So he uses all his ink, puts out the Daisy and the Lawrence. First he quests with the Daisy. He knows his opponent is on 60 characters, so this Daisy will put a card into his hand every time. Then uses the whole new world. He had nothing in hand. He's essentially going to get a fresh 7, and Diago just lost, like, I don't know, maybe 9, 10 cards.
Yeah, that was rough. But at the same time, though, you know that Bog is looming. And I'm telling you, Trampbog, he's going to come out for free. And there he is right there. He's enchanted and everything. So he's looking like he can come to the board relatively soon. And you have this Ursula as well, who's going to get some tremendous value if you can't start ripping these songs off. So this game is not even close to being over. I think it's going to be a slobber knocker, knockdown, drag out battle fight to the finish. Rudrose is echoing. Okay, let's see if we can fix that.
That's not good.
It's never good.
We tested this out earlier, and we were trying to fix it. And I thought we had, but hey, it's always something.
It's
right?
It's never nothing. It's always going to be something.
Well, while you tinker with that, we'll observe that Diago, he does have 2 Ursulas in hand, so he can not only scout the hand, he can rip out any potential songs. There's got to be a ton of characters in there. This Trampbog might just cost 1 right now. We are going to go in with the Ursula Scout first. There are 2 copies of Whole New World, so we can go ahead and rip one of those. If we want, we could play out the second Ursula to just take another copy away from them. We do also see Rapunzel in the hand, so you know our opponent can reload that way. And yeah, I believe this Trampbog, if I can see the discard, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think there's at least 6 in there, if not 7. So this Trampbog's already like a 2, 1, 3 cost, somewhere in that range.
Okay, we do have a slight delay, so you guys keep telling me at this moment if Rudrose is still doing the double echo. I do appreciate you guys. Let me know, and we're going to try to get that sorted. But I believe I see the problem, and I think we have fixed it. So it should be good to go. Rudrose, if you can just mute yourself, make sure you're muted in the video as well on your end. So we're just going to mute video and just continue to go through the Discord, and that should get it done, I believe.
Awesome.
As we're going to go triple Ursula now. So you got double Ursula, who's able to take all those songs and get all that value out of the Ursulas. But this board is quite large, so that might not be good enough, as you're not able to contest at all, and the questing power is just mounting on Mr. Bivens' side of the board. So
Yeah,
this,
well, between 4 characters, he has a total of 3 strength on the board. I do like to sometimes picture if the characters had like a voice line when they were played, and you would have just heard "poor unfortunate, poor unfortunate, poor unfortunate" it's over and over again.
board.
Yeah, but yeah, it starts getting it overlapping each other.
That's so good. That's so good. But man, this is not looking good for Diego here, as you can just really just start freely questing because you can't clear anything. This prince is looking bad. We were just talking about that, and there's 3 of them too. There's 1 in hand, or there's 2 in hand and 1 on the board, and it's just like, bro, what are you doing with that 0, man? You got a weapon and everything. That's my theory too. I have my own theories. I'm like, if a card has a weapon or he should have a weapon, like Prince should have some stats. Like, where is the 0 coming in at?
Right. Well, and he's uninkable too. Like, if he was inkable, okay, I kind of get it, but
yeah,
he's uninkable. Give him something.
Give him some stats, man. Something to work with. Lawrence has stats. Lawrence is a 4/4.
Yeah,
I'm certain Prince can beat up Lawrence without question.
Yeah, right. So we jam out of Mermaid's Lagoon as well as other characters, and we just quest for the moon because Bivens is accurately recognizing one of the main weaknesses of these character aggro-focused Amber Green or Amber Emerald decks is that if they fall behind, what do they do to come back? They don't have Rush. Like, I think Cricky is kind of one of their only real forms of interaction, and that also implies you have to have a bunch of characters that can challenge. So.
Yeah, and the ink set up to play it. So this is just GG's on board right quick as Zach has hit the gas pedal and turned it all the way on, and Diego just is going to have to scoop it up and go to game number 2 and can't necessarily do anything about it. So that's going to be a quick game number 1, and I'm hoping, Rudrose, last time we got to do LCCC, we got to see a quick swift 2-0. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. Hopefully we can get a better little situation so people can enjoy the matchups, but it's still a vibe, it's still energy. Hopefully it just goes a little bit longer there. And we'll go and kick it over. We're waiting on the players to continue to play. Again, just looking at these deck lists, I think that I like this Amber Emerald deck. I think it's good. I think it has a viable competitive energy to it. I think this could be something that's worked on. If the Prince is it, probably not, but maybe there's a way you can kind of work them in. What do you think about this Amber Emerald deck again? Like, what would you do to make this deck a little bit better?
Well, see, it would take it in a totally different direction, but I have always kind of liked the Under the Sea versions of these decks that ran things like Prince John, because it just gave it more angles, right? Whereas this one is very one-dimensional. And when it works, it really works, and it's very straightforward, but you only have one play in this. Like, if I'm thinking about that match just now, I was like, is there anything Diego could have done differently? No, there isn't. He played out the Ursula. He even played out the Ursulas, like, okay, let me try to take your songs away, and it's just none of those cards have challenging power. So if you're going in on this pure character version, I think you kind of just gotta hope that, you know, either you're going first or that maybe your opponent bricks a little or something that lets you get ahead of cards that is difficult to do when you're going against Steel Song because it has a lot of removal it can use for free by singing.
All right, so I'm just trying to make sure that I'm getting still reports that there is a delay. Hopefully, if someone can see my comment, is it still going after that? Because I believe we got it sorted. I don't know what the delay could be from. We have it all. We got the video muted. We're in Discord. We're 2 people talking. I don't know where the delay where the double talk could be coming from. And it's just Rudrose, man. He's got a beautiful voice. You guys like his voice. You just hear it twice. It's a gorgeous voice. It's got a nice treble to it. Just enjoy the double speech.
That is very kind of you. That'd be quite the talent if I could like purposely echo my voice somehow. Oh my goodness. I don't know what that would be useful for, but that would be something.
But let me check. I'm gonna check my stuff one more time. But it looks like the players are getting locked in and ready to go. So it's going to continue on with game number 2. Mr. Bivens comes out, storming ahead, gets game number 1 relatively quickly. Let's see. Is it still echoing?
Yeah, and then I know we'll need a sec for them to catch up as well, but yeah, do let us know in the chat. We do appreciate your feedback. Bivens looks like he's only potentially keeping the aerial, or that, yeah, even though he had a few songs in there he could have kept, says, nope, I just want to potentially keep the aerial. We haven't seen any of Diego's cards yet. Zach has been kind enough to put them face up in the hidden zone for us, but Diego looks like he shipped back maybe 3, 4, and he's got the other ones face down, so I can't quite tell what he's got on there. So Bivens does draw into, we have a Daisy Duck, a Pete, another Aerial, World's Greatest Criminal Mind, which is amazing if he gets us out something like that. Trampbog, not going to be so great early. I think we also have Cinderella. I see under his hand, and then I can't see what the final card is. Rapunzel. Okay. So no heavy-hitting songs early. Then this could be a really good sign for Diago. But of course, that Ariel can always find us one on turn 3.
But he is playing that World's Greatest Criminal Minds, so that's a good way to take down the Trampbog followers. Hey, I'm gonna use my phone and tune in real quick to see what the situation is. If you just give me a sec, you got this, Rud. It's all.
I'll cover it. All right, so Diego's gonna get to go first. He still hasn't revealed his hand to us. I think he's getting ready to, just so we can get a little insight. But nonetheless, he's going to ink a beautiful enchanted Clarabelle Cow on turn 1. Puts out a Daisy Duck, pretty much one of the strongest openings you can have, as even the Steel Song deck can struggle to deal with that a little early. We do ink that World's Greatest Criminal Mind for Cinderella, putting the fear into our opponent that, hey, I could potentially hit you with a song, but in reality, yeah, we don't have one. We actually draw our third aerial, so we are waiting to dig and draw into songs, but we do not have any currently. Diago quests for 2. Daisy will reveal a Cinderella, so we will add that into hand. Always happy for a little extra ink. And we have 2 Ursulas in hand, probably thinking he wants to scout. Unbeknownst to him, this would be a great time to actually put out the Merfolk as well as the Daisy, just because your opponent has no songs, and he's about to see that, oh, there's nothing there. You got a lot of singers, but no songs.
Yeah, I think we still might be having some double talk, and I do apologize for that. I don't know why it's doing that or what the deal is with the double speech, but I'm working it right now. I'm looking at it behind the scenes, and it's always going to be live TV. Something I'm looking at it. Can you go ahead and just go ahead and give me some more speech? Maybe I can see what's happening here.
Oh, absolutely. I can confirm I am muted in the video, so I don't think that is again, we tested it earlier and I thought everything worked just fine. All right, so looks like we're putting out both the Daisy and the Cinderella, so we're going pretty wide. If we can draw into something like Strength of a Raging Fire, that will let us take out something like this Daisy Duck. But after that, we're just going to pass to our opponent. No point in questing or challenging with the Cinderella. As we did get that Trampbog. It's a bit early for him, as we have no characters in our discard. This is another part about that card, that since it's uninkable, when you draw it early like this, he's just kind of stuck in your hand. So Diago, knowing there currently shouldn't be any songs in our opponent's hand, just decides to go wide. And I assume we're going to get a quest out of this Daisy Duck, as well as the Ursula, which we do, and Daisy will reveal. We'd actually love for it to reveal a song here to ship it to the bottom of the deck.
And it's not.
It reveals the Troubadour.
It's going to be the Troubadour. Okay, we're still echoing. So it is confirmed we're still echoing. I just made a couple of other changes, and it's going to be another 2 to 3 minutes until we can see if those changes take effect. I think this last round of changes I did should have found the problem. I see what happened. I think that it should have fixed it now, perhaps. But I'm not certain. Audio issues are the bane of every streamer. It's so unfortunate because we literally practiced this and we went through this and we rehearsed. I do promise you that we trying to go for it, but sometimes it's just not gonna. It's gonna be something, especially when you have to delay. It just makes it really, really awkward. So we're gonna keep rolling with it. I mean, it's not the end of the world. Hopefully, I got it fixed on this next one. If it does stop, please somebody let me know that, hey, it is fixed. I'll be listening to it on my cell phone as well. So we did get another whole new world. But your hand is not really having a lot of momentum to it, as you got a bunch of aerials in hand.
I saw 2 songs there, and neither of them were removal. It was Whole New World, and it was World's Greatest Criminal Mind, which currently isn't going to hit anything. So this is what Diago wanted, right? This is the kind of start he wanted. Sometimes this Steel Song deck, this has actually been a symptom of it pretty much since its real inception in set 2, is that for whatever reason, it just tends to stumble on its own 2 feet sometimes.
Yeah, and it seems as if we're going to go ahead and get another rip with another Ursula. These Ursulas have been hitting hard all day as we're getting a Mighty Quest in. That's a whole 7 right there. Like, dang, that's pretty. And you hit the song as well. 2 of them. Wow. You're trolling. Deck is trolling, as Daisy does a great job sending 2 nice songs to the bottom of the deck. Songs you really could have used here to kind of take some of this aggression down, as I believe you have lethal damage in play, I want to say. So you're going to have to start trading in, favorably or not.
The next aerial does find 3 removal songs, so there they all were. They were all kind of clumped together in that section of the deck after Daisy shipped away 2. I mean, the Strength is going to get rid of one of these Daisies, and the Merfolk's easy enough to challenge. So we're definitely going to hold our opponent off for now, but that new lady card too will be waiting to just snatch up a couple of these low-cost characters and bring them right back. Cinderella sings Strength of a Raging Fire, banishing the Daisy for a total of 5 damage. I would guess we're going to challenge this Merfolk. The aerial could take out the daisy as well if both aerials went in. Or no, one of them I think got played this turn, so she can't challenge yet. But and you probably don't want to send 3 cards in to a single daisy.
All right, all right.
Troubadour gets inked.
We just got some good news from the past that the Echo is now gone, so we can lock back in fully and get really engaged as this LCCC is going to continue to rage on. It looks like we got a huge spam to the board. We have more mermaids, more princesses, more princesses, as we're just going to have to start trading in. And this Trampbog is actually kind of menacing there, staring. I don't know how many characters you have in your discard right now, but you might be able to get him in play.
Yeah, so we had the Ariel and Daisy trade into the Ursula, and then we had the Cinderella trade into the Merfolk. We discarded Gaston for the cost, and I believe the Lady will be online. I don't think Trampbog's quite in play yet. As I can't even tell what that is we drew. Did we draw the Prince? So we're going to quest for another 3. That'll put us up to 15. We're just 5 away.
Okay.
And we reveal another Troubadour. Okay, so we did give our opponent something off on that one. Not doing the Lady. Okay, we are putting in the Prince Bodyguard, just valuing that. We still won't be quite unlethal, but we're telling our opponent, hey, if you don't have songs to sing, then you're going to have to get through this card the hard way.
Absolutely. And this, I think you might, is there a world where you can kind of claw back into this thing? Because I'm looking at Diego's hand. He only has 2 cards in hand that are both unplayable. Yeah. And I don't think you have enough ink to get this Lady into the fray at all. So is there a world where you can kind of crawl back in and get this thing back from 15? It's possible, but very unlikely as you spam another mermaid to the board. Little Mermaid Ariel is going to come out there. Spectacular Stinger. And the Raiders coming in from ICL. I just see that now. The ICL Raiders. The Echo is back? No way the Echo's back. How are we back to the Echo? What did I do?
And it's so hard to keep up with it when we're behind.
I know. This delay is just so annoying. Oh, my goodness. It might be Pixelborn Echo. Is your Pixelborn muted? Are you connected to Pixelborn at all?
No, mine's not open.
Can you mute and deafen Speedy perhaps? Because maybe you can hear his, and mute the stream. If you're watching the Pixelborn stream, just mute that. It's Bivens' camera. His camera is going very sporadic. So we're dealing with some technical stuff. We're working it out. We're getting there. But I think it could be coming in from that side of it too, because it stopped for a second and then it started back.
Okay, I muted him, so hopefully that does it. I muted him like 3 ways to Sunday.
Okay, it definitely started back, and I have you muted in every which way. And when you're speaking in the stream, I don't hear you, but we're working it out. I do apologize. We're gonna get to the bottom of this as LCC goes on. We do apologize. There's always gonna be some technical issues for sure, but I'm not sure what they could be, and I don't even know where that sound is coming from. As we're gonna get a quest in going up to 1, the mighty 1, as the comeback starts now, as Mr. Bivens is trying to claw back in.
He is finally on the board, and what did we see there? We inked another card. Man, we have so many singers and we just have no songs. So it's like we all assembled for the choir. We've got triple Ariel. We've got double Cinderella. We're gonna get a Troubadour potentially in play as me. It's like, all right, everyone ready? And it goes 1, 2, 3. And then no one knows what to sing. It's like, oh, right, we forgot to bring the sheet music.
Is it fixed now? So now they're telling us it's fixed. Dude, I'm trying super hard to get this thing right. And now my headphones are having some problems too. It's just one of those days. We're having all the technical issues all happen at once, but it's going to be a vibe though. We're going to make it happen as apparently it's fixed now. We're on a delay, so I can't communicate with the chat as effectively as we would like, but still we're gonna understand that it's on a delay. It's surround sound. It's good now. Okay, we're good now. We'll trust that we are good, and we'll deal with that.
So Diego's deck is definitely failing him right now. He's not even on 5 ink, so he can't even play the Lady. The Trampbog is still probably another ink or 2 away. He's so close, but now Zach's board is so overloaded. He might be able to just race ahead.
We're hoping that Diego can. Me personally, and I'm very, very unbiased when I'm in the commentary booth, but I need Diego to win this because we've had 2 games riddled by technological indifferences But we're back now, and if he can manage to get those little residual lore required to win,
Yeah.
we can have a nice game 3 for the LCCC, and it's going to be what everyone wants. So let's all send our energy over to Diego, and maybe we can get through this thing. As it's not looking good. You're at 16, but like you said, it's jammed up, and your deck is absolutely doing you no favors.
Yeah.
But
And
you're
your
gonna,
opponent can quest for 10. Yeah, well, he's gonna. So what he's gonna do with the Daisy, and now he can draw it with Rapunzel. Plus, he knows the Daisy is pure card draw for his opponent, so he's not giving that to him. Zach just playing very cautiously, making sure, nope, I've got a chance to come back here. I am not gonna throw it away.
well, you have 4 ink, and you just cleared a character, so that might be enough to get this Chernobog loose right quick, and that could be not enough because you'll still
Yeah,
go.
I still don't think it's enough.
It's not enough. Oh my goodness! I think you're gonna. Well, you go. That puts you at 6. So if you can go Chernobog and another character, then maybe we can make it happen. Is there a world?
Well, so Zach will be. He has 11 lore on board, so you need to. So even if you play the Chernobog, if he just quests for 11, you can't. You need instant lore. Now there is a Go-Go in this list, so that's kind of his only real out. Is he needs a Chernobog next turn. Make sure it doesn't get banished because we have enough characters for an insane Strength of a Raging Fire, and then fight to Go-Go. I think that's his way out.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough. I think Zach just might have to keep his hand in the camera at all times. If he has his hand in the cam, I think that could keep it from doing that super refocus thing. Because notice when his hand is in, the camera is just working. The camera is just a paid actor. It's looking to get busy and get something in focus. It's working very hard to get something in focus. We need to put like a statue or something on the playmat just so the camera can chill out, man, because it is just being all over the place. But still,
Yeah.
it's still gonna be great. As
It's lonely. It just wants to find something to look at. It's like I just want someone to focus on.
That's it, man. It just needs someone to care. As it looks like Diego is kind of seeing the writing is on the wall. You throw the location in as well, and this game could be all she wrote. As you get Hey, who is just not even going to do it, man.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if you want that extra ink, hey, we'll fit the bill. Surely we got enough for the Chernobog. I think there's 6 in there, so Chernobog should cost 3. Man, we would have almost loved to have rather seen like a Daisy, like another 1-drop we could pair with him.
Yeah, because is that 14? How much are you going for over there? I think he got a lot. That board
I think
is.
he has 13.
Oh yeah,
Or hold on, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So he actually is on lethal, so this is pretty much over.
Yeah, that's brutal. That is so brutal. That is brutal. Yo, we got Gabe in the building. Logics. I'm such a Gabe fan, dude. I'm a Gabe stan, dude. Maybe because he's so bald and he works it out better than me. Hate to see it. Oh man, I'm always like jealous. I got bald and you got great hair, so you don't understand how it feels to be a hairless man. And
I don't. You're correct. Man, so we get to see this new lady card, and hey, it gets back a Daisy and a Merfolk. That's a really cool effect. Unfortunately, it's just not gonna matter because
it's
our
just
opponent can just quest out, which you see Zach immediately just turn sideways with everything, plus the Lagoon hits an exact perfect number.
That is a quest for a billion. And that is going to get it done as Mr. Bivens comes out strong with a very fierce and a powerful 2-0 to take this thing over Diego. Trying to go back-to-back LCCC back-to-back victory. I think he's capable enough to do that. I think he's got the skill and the will to do this. I know he's a play-to-win kind of player, so I think he's hungry for another win. What's better than one victory? A back-to-back LCCC win in this double elimination format. So well played to both. Diego really didn't get a chance to demonstrate what the deck wants to do. He got some cool things happening, but it just kind of ran out of steam there. I think if it had a couple characters,
it looked good for a moment because and Zach was whiffing on the songs, right? He didn't have the song removal, but I think he just hit a few too many uninkables, and then he wasn't able to play out the Chernobog or the Lady, and so he had these cards that just kind of got junked up in his hand that he couldn't do anything with.
All right, so what we can do, let's go ahead and hop on into the Discord. I believe we can get the players in there and maybe get some feedback and see what they're thinking about how this game shook out. I think it kind of went exactly the way Mr. Bivens wanted it to go. He came out
Yeah.
and executed his game plan quite nicely, hit some great curves, played some great cards, and Diego just kind of faltered there. So let's see if we can get them to come by to the LCCC live, and let's see if. All right, it's not back. Are we not back? Is it back? Is the echo back?
No, I think some folks are just catching up on it. Fingers crossed that's not actually
Okay.
back.
Okay. It's not the echo. Okay, we're good. Okay. And in the booth with us, it looks like we have Diego and we have Mr. Bivens. First, we'll toss it over to you, Mr. Bivens. Congratulations on your dub. Thanks for coming back to participate in LCCC again after your historic victory in LCCC #1. Can you just talk about your deck? You brought Amber Steel. You're locked into Amber Steel for the rest of this tournament. What made you bring Amber Steel to this tournament? A lot of people said it was dead in this meta.
Yeah. So I haven't played a single set 7 game yet. Life has been busy, man.
Right.
But I knew everyone would. I pretty much expected all the blue steel, and Daisy's good against blue steel. I felt like this would be good against blue steel, so yeah, we just locked it in.
Okay, so you had no prep for set 7. You've just been busy with life, getting loose, getting active, trying to stay employed. But you put this deck together. Is this all theory? We know you're a very cerebral player. In your own mind, you said, I'm a roll with these cards because you like them.
Nah, so I know I wanted to play Steel Song, but this is Wochuck's list, like card for card.
Got it.
It's all him.
Okay.
Trust him. I think he's an amazing Steel Song player. And since I didn't have time to test, just went with it.
Okay. Even the one of Nala, did you no way Rochuck ran the one of Nala. You had to toss that in there. You cut something for that one Nala.
Bruh,
I know you did.
Nala's goated, man. Nala's goated.
Okay.
Nah. You just you need the bodies for strength, so you kind of just want more one cost characters. And
Okay.
just like last time, Nala's the best we got.
Oh, that sucks. But it is what it is. It is with no Poo Piglet, no any of that kind of stuff. And you have this this one cost location. Can you just talk about that real quick? Your thoughts behind that card? I know you say you didn't build the deck, but what do you think about the card and how it performed to kind of actually help win that game?
No, we tested it last format. It's really good against red blue specifically. Because like their main thing is to prep us, and then so like if we're going into a prep turn, we just slap down all the locations and just ticks away getting extra lore. So it actually is really good in that matchup, and it's annoying for blue steel too.
Nice. Hey, Rudrose, you got any questions for the reigning champion right now? Before we kick it on over to level 9001.
Oh, absolutely. So we didn't get to see Miss Bianca come out, but I assume she's just kind of in there because she essentially can come down as a full cost that sings songs. But more specifically, I wanted to ask about the Troubadour. I think when most people saw this, they pretty much saw it as a strict upgrade to the Ursula, other than maybe the rare occasion where Ursula can give you more of a Rapunzel heal. I think Resist is going to be a pretty big deal in this meta, especially if Sapphire Steel is going to be as prevalent. Did you have any special thoughts on the Troubadour, and like, did he maybe outperform your expectations?
So there's one reason only he's in here, because he's an ally for Miss Bianca's effect. Otherwise, at least at this moment, I would prefer Ursula. But yeah, with the ally, you definitely got to be rolling with that for the Bianca.
Nice.
Do you prefer her because of the Rapunzel line?
Yeah, specifically Rapunzel.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Well, we're going to say congratulations again, man. And I know you got the World Championship coming up. There's no date yet announced for it, but maybe you'll bring this deck. Maybe you'll find some time to get some more training reps in, and we can see what you can do as this LCCC is going to continue on. We know you want to get to the dub, but we're going to kick it on over to level 9001. Diego, Saz, I had the fortunate pleasure of hanging out with you guys in the GTA event that we did a couple weekends ago. I didn't even know that was you. They didn't give you any kind of fanfare, no hype or nothing. I'm like, I'm over here. They just call him Diego. I'm like, dude, I didn't even know that was you. But it is what it is, man. Unfortunately, it didn't work out the way that you wanted in that matchup. But still, can you talk about this deck? Why did you put this deck together this way? And how did it treat you? I mean, it kind of fell apart there at the end of game number 2. But can you just talk about some of the shortfalls and some of the changes you would probably make, or what worked out and what didn't?
Yeah, I like the color combo. This is what I used. The color combo is what I use for Toronto. Different archetype completely, but I like playing green. Figured there's going to be a lot of Sapphire decks, so Daisy can just overcome that. With the build that I had, it was very limited testing. We had to submit our decks like a day after set release, so I couldn't really fix the kinks, but there's definitely changes I would do. I probably would cut the Clarabelle package, put in more cards that can use to filter out my uninkables. So obviously you could see in the game too, I was stuck
Yeah.
with uninkables, and I had to, like, if I could just get rid of one of those cards with something else. So I think the new Yzma can help with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was just I was stuck with uninkables. The first game I thought I was doing well, and then he hit the whole new world, and that just, a whole new game right there.
Yeah. And you really tried with the triple Ursulas, like trying to control the songs that he had in hand. It seems like it barely made a dent.
Yeah, you can't do anything about when he draws it afterwards, right? So
Exactly.
Yeah,
yeah,
that does kind of feel bad. We said, hey man, if you could just have a couple more inks, or if you could just have a couple more characters on there when you got all the way up to 16 and just completely got stifled, couldn't really do much about it. But I still think the deck has potential, and I think you're a good enough player to do the analysis and get this thing humming along like I'm sure you can get it to work. But this LCCC round. You're not locked into these decks. You have to start with whatever you think is going to be good, and then as the meta kind of resolves itself, you will have to stick with these colors, and I'm sure you like these colors. So you have a lot of opportunities and a lot of things you can do within this Amber Emerald colorway. So I'll be looking forward to seeing what you do for the next round. This is double elimination, so you do have another chance to another crack at it. So I wouldn't get too discouraged, but you got to lock in and got to ride a wave on to get to victory.
yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Diego,
absolutely.
I do want to ask you about a new card that you played. So we got to see it in that match, and that's specifically the Prince Bodyguard.
Mm-hmm.
I just wasn't really sure what to think of this because obviously it has really high willpower for its cost, which is great, but it also has no strength, so it's never going to trade with anything. How did he feel today kind of using him?
In testing, like, the Prince is amazing. That 5
Really?
willpower
Okay.
actually, like, really breaks the threshold. With a lot of, it makes it so he can't just quest. If I have a
Mm,
Prince out, or he, it sets up Rapunzel traps. So even, like, I can throw it into a Lawrence, a Fox, or something with 4 attack, right, and heal it up and get a lot of Rapunzel value. Plus, I have
yeah.
Cricky in the deck.
Mm-hmm.
It would make it the Prince at 3/5, and they can really turn things around when I'm on the play.
Gotcha. Nice. That's a good combo use for him.
Yeah, I think it might have some solid opportunities to be a decent thing, and I want to see where it goes. But we're going to kick it back over to Mr. Bivens, who has won this event already. Can you talk about your focus? Are you locked in? Are you trying to go back to back? Are you trying to be the first two-time LCCC winner? And what would that mean to you if you can pull that off?
Of course, we got to run it back. We won the first one, little to no resistance, so we're gonna do it again.
Look at that. Let's go. I like that. Little tenacity
Dropping
too.
bombs.
Little to no resistance, says the world qualified Mr. Number One C, Mr. Bivens. I say Mr. Bivens because I got to put some respect on the name. But gentlemen, again, I got to say thank you guys so much for your participation in these LCCCs. It does mean a lot. Whether you guys know it or not, you guys are the tastemakers. You guys are shaping the metagame. People tune in. They're going to net deck you. They're going to build what you've built upon. So we appreciate those efforts, and we're going to continue to monitor you guys throughout the rest of this tournament, and hopefully we have more opportunities to see you. But Zach, you got to do something with that camera, big dog. That bad boy is not focusing. You got to put
It was so bad. I don't know what was going on. It didn't do it a single time last time.
you got to
And I'm not a tech dude, so I don't know, man.
Right on. That thing was a paid actor. The whole chat is getting motion sickness, but it is what it is. So you got to put like some kind of camera or some kind of can or something in your camera so it can focus on something, and we can just have that not be a problem. But still,
We'll get it figured out.
Absolutely. But gentlemen, thank you so much.
He was rocking out to some beat. I thought he was like in the club or something and was just breaking it down.
Absolutely. Before we let you guys go, is there any other shout outs you guys want to give? We'll start with you, Mr. Bivens, and then we'll kick it on over to Mr. 9001.
Shout out to Mr. Level 9001, great opponent, speedy, awesome judge, and you guys for casting. You guys do a great job, so I appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.